What does that do to rent?
So you can get a premium. It's like adding a dishwasher. So if you look at a lot of units here, C class, some have dishwashers, some don't. So you can command a slightly higher rent on if you add those amenities. But there are two laundry rooms on the property, and so they are coin operated, and I believe credit card as well. They're very, very clean. I don't know if there's a picture on here of them. They're very updated and modern.
Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Well, good morning. All right, it's so exciting to be talking and going live from the backyard. Weather is so nice over here, Beau. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, beautiful house there in Nashville.
Hey, thank you. I want to thank you for representing me, and you're such a great guy. And man alive, the house has gone in value. I can't believe it, how much in just 2 years. And thanks to you. But no, everybody, this is Vinney and Beau show. We come live to you on Fridays at 9:30 a.m. And we would like to actually start a new segment today, which we're going to take you with a journey of buying a multifamily. And we just got under contract 109 units. It's going to be so much. We'll be sharing with you on screen, the underwritings, the why we chose the area, and everything. And then the process of our negotiations with the seller. We'll take you through the ups and downs, the whole story. So we'll be putting this also in the podcast and also in the YouTube channels. So you will see us for the next 3 months, actually, because we're going to close it in about 60 to 90 days. You will see every Friday. Hopefully, we'll give a little glimpse of that, And Beau, you are also thinking about taking us through a loan process. Is that right?
Yeah, we could do that too. And that's, there's plenty of journeys, and the loan process is definitely not as sexy as the acquisition process. I can tell you that. But I think navigating the loan process is important for the reason is it's sometimes critical to know, to have your alternative strategies, right? Because there's always moving parts. There's occupancy requirements for some lenders. There's personal net worth requirements for some lenders. So navigating those financing steps is critical. But I will be happy to share it. But I'm more interested in your story, because I think it's going to resonate. It's a sexier version. So I think let's get started.
Well, John Rusin, my buddy, my friend, my partner, he's my GP partner in this deal, big times, and we're going to be sharing it together, all the ups and downs. And I want to thank John for bringing this asset to the surface. John, you want to take over, buddy? Kind of share with us, why Knoxville, why you love living there, and how you came across this asset, and kind of take us. This is the starting of the story, Yeah.
Of course, yeah. So I moved here about 2 years ago. So I traveled a lot for a previous job, went to a lot of cities, major cities all over the country. And, Knoxville just has a good homey feel. It's a big city, or it's a big enough city where you can have fun, a lot of good, things to do during the weekends, the Smoky Mountains, most visited national park in the country that, it's only 45 minutes away. It's just, Southern people are nice compared to where I grew up. I love it down here. So I, fell in love. And, even in the last 2 years, home prices, people are moving. Every day I meet someone, I just moved here from California, or I just moved here from New York or Michigan, all over. So people are flocking. And, the cost of living is very, very affordable. It hasn't skyrocketed like many markets. And, just the atmosphere here, it's beautiful. The temperature, it's in the 90s this week, but, usually in the 80s. It hardly snows, maybe once or twice. Very mild climate, and there's just so much to do. But the deal, we got it maybe a month ago, underwrote it, looked good, and then, kind of negotiating back and forth, touring it. Then Vinney flew in. Very exciting to have Vinney in Knoxville, show him what Knoxville's about. And then we put our offer in. There were 15 offers. Can't believe we were chosen on the top one.
Hey, Yeah. No, that's good. No, no, John. And tell us, like, it's like how many units and what's our business plan? I know our audience would love to kind of follow why we chose this asset and we went double down. We said nowhere. We want to be in the top five, then top two, then top one, and we won the deal. Tell
So
us
there's,
more. Yeah.
yeah, so many reasons, but so the area that it's in South Knoxville. So the city's spending almost $1 billion there to improve the infrastructure, kind of creating an extension of downtown. In South Knoxville is just exploding. Flippers are spending money. We just looked at a house. It was bought in 2019 for 89,000. They put some money into it. It's on the market for 450. That's
Incredible.
yeah, incredible. And so I just looked at a house the other day. It was like it looked like a haunted house. It was so bad, and and they wanted over 100 grand for it. It's like I wouldn't pay 20 for it. So just things are turning to gold there. I was really kind of thrown off, but so we like it because the area is on the up and up. Tennessee, Knoxville isn't a whole, but we really like the property. The rents are almost $400 to $500 below market, and every day that we do our comps to check, the comps are going higher and higher. So even our
Yeah.
comps with our lender, and he said he's so excited and to hear back, because the package, this is what banks and financiers want to see and hear, for these type of deals, be it so far below. And then we really like because there's no deferred maintenance. The previous owner put about $4 million into it, replacing all the roofs, HVACs, parking lot. Every unit looks brand new, so they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And it should be a very good asset. And then what we're going to do to really improve the NOI to get the income up higher is build an additional 16 units, maybe 16 to 18. So we're looking right now getting the plans drawn, but there's a duplex on a parcel of land. We're going to demolish the duplex, hopefully get at least 8 townhouses in there. And then there is room underneath some of the buildings to add an additional 8 units. So with that, it's a home run deal. Even without that, the deal really makes sense. But adding those additional units, making use of the space, it cash flows, the appreciation on it, and 5 years, we're going to do very well. So we're excited.
So
Totally, yeah. Go ahead.
So what are your kind of like underwriting, like your debt service coverage ratio at close? Are you guys at like a 1.4? What's that going to look like?
So I can pull it up.
Surely. And we are doing it in 2 phases, Beau. We are doing the financing of the 99% occupied property, which is already right now, 109 units. Actually, duplex is empty, which is good. So it's 107 units. And then we're going to demolish the duplex, like, John is saying. The other good part is they started building the 8 units already underneath 3 buildings. So they are partially done. All we have to do is just the framing and the firewall and all that. I mean, between the units, because it's like a warehouse kind of thing, and then cut some windows, from the wall and something like that. Anyway, but we'll show some pictures. Go ahead.
So you're not digging down really, but it's where there was some parking spaces, or it was a raised building.
It was
so
a
you're going to
basement.
be.
So it's a raise. So there's units across the hall, but on this side there was no window access. So what we'll have to do is create, the window access for the bedroom. But it's already got the framing. It's where the maintenance people have their office. So we're going to relocate them because they just built 8 brand new units, and there's actually a garage. It's a really nice tool shop there, and so but the debt coverage.
John, I don't know if we could show that, buddy. Can we share the screen? I think our audience would love that, and it's going to be archived. Like we said, we're going to take you on a whole story. We're going to make a movie out of it, and that way we can teach also the ups and downs of purchases, which lots and lots of investors ask us, on a daily basis and in our coaching programs and things like that. This is the property, John. Take it away, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see my background. You like my background, Vinny? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Gone? No, it's gone. Yeah. So this is the property. It's the Adelaide, South Knoxville, 109 units, like Vinny said. Again, why we like this property is the previous owner put about $4 million in completely renovating. This is a completely new unit, brand new pool. The comparables in the market, this has 2 dog parks, dog washing stations. It's got the pools. It's actually got 2 really nice barbecue areas. Very, very nice. And it's targeted towards young professionals. So this is, Knox, a lot of young professionals are moving here because of the cost of living. We love it. And you can see every unit looks like this, the LVT flooring, painted, very nice appliances, very nice caliber. So when we were doing our tours and our due diligence, they did a really good job. The cupboards feel great. I mean, they didn't cut any corners when doing it. So we love it. So you can see in here, there is some value add that we may consider, putting in dishwasher or washers and dryers, but we're still debating on that. There are hookups for it, but we want the resident to bring their own, so we don't have to have the hassle of fixing or repairing, or if a resident moves out and then they, take it accidentally. But
what does that do to rent?
So you can get a premium. It's like adding a dishwasher. So if you look at a lot of units here, C-class, some have dishwashers, some don't. So you can command a slightly higher rent on if you add those amenities. But there are 2 laundry rooms on the property, and so they are coin operated, and I believe credit card as well. They're very, very clean. I don't know if there's a picture on here of them. They're very updated and modern. Everything just has.
Is that? Do you think that would justify like $150 more a month in price in rent, or is that a little bit much? I mean, how do you? I guess you have to do a market analysis and comp.
Yeah, so I'll show you. So this is the competitor that's a mile away. Let me go to apartments.com.
Yeah, so, 1 mile, Henley, yeah.
And so if we look, 1 bedroom, 1,600, our 1 bedrooms are right around 800. So it's a double. So
holy. So this is a huge value add then.
Yeah.
I mean,
value add in the sense that, Beau, the seller is a flipper from Nashville. So she put in a lot of money, for $1 million or so, but now she wanted to just get it to 92%, 99%, by the way, told the property management company, and the property management company is also laying flat. They're not doing much. So the big potential of increasing rents by $600, literally $600. So from 800 to 1,400 is a given, So anyway, so we'll do it slowly. Yeah.
That's like a 2-year plan. And then, okay. And then, so just like so you're buying it for 11 something.
12.5.
12.5. And it doesn't need that much CapEx, but if not including the build, what's the CapEx look like?
So we're getting financed $500,000. So it is a bridge loan, 80%. The goal is to get those rents up to market, refinance out. And so conservatively, we're looking right about 18 million to refinance out based on the NOI. And that's a very conservative estimate, because when we actually did a lot of our analysis, the rents weren't as high in the comparables. So I believe we can shoot for a higher potential. And so it's interest only. Then we'll go into permanent financing for additional interest only.
So that means like in year 5 or 6, if this plan executed out, this would be potentially, not counting what you're going to build and add there, that there's this $4 or $5 million of equity that's going to be created.
Yes, that's right.
And then the question is do you want to build out those units?
No, we are building. We are already talking to the city, the permits, the ordinance changes, everything. We don't stop, And John, what was that? 185,000 a year extra income. So you put a cap of 4.5 or 5 cap. So you see the value there, And
that's just on the 8 townhouses. So on the 8 other additional units, it's even further. And so, it's hard to tell where cap rates will be. Interest rates are probably going to go up. So you're going to imagine they're going to follow that trend. But, with a city like Knoxville and Tennessee, people are continuously moving here in other states. So we've done kind of a cap rate, analysis of if it's this or this is where we'll be at. And we feel very comfortable. So.
I do want to say something. I'm sorry, we got a lot of people watching us. Please let us know where you're from and also the city. Hello, Hassan Shaji. He's the MD, Dr. Hassan. Nice to have you. Very nice to have you. Amita. Oh, Anita Lewis Chopra, my aunt, actually. She's here. Looks at those happy faces. You must be doing well. Continuing doing well. Thank you so much. And then we have LinkedIn user, nice, John. Very good, John. Excellent. So, thank you again. We really appreciate you coming with us on a ride, every Friday at 9:30. But please do like us, share, comment, and tell other people about it. This is a show for you so that we could answer your questions regarding loans. Beau is a loan broker, one of the top in the country, and I'm a syndicator. Vinny Chopra and John Rusin, my partner. We raise money, we buy apartments, we build apartments, all that good stuff. So thank you. Let's see here. So John, yeah, thank you for sharing that. This preliminary, and we're going to be weaving this whole process of buying these 109 units. By the way, it's shown is at 109, but we're going to demolish that duplex and build the 8 townhouses and then 8 units which are already partially built under the building. So we're going to complete that process. John, what
Bruce,
else would you like to say? Huh? Go ahead.
Bruce asked a good question. Are there
Yes.
currently billing back for rubs?
Oh, very good question, John.
No, so they're not. So there's a ton of value add. So like Vinny always says, the rent that they're charging is really not the rent. It's much lower because rubs, valet trash, internet. So our community also comes with internet, television, the water. So that's a huge another potential. The pet rent is actually way below what other communities are charging. So we're excited to implement that as well.
We just took the property management guy. I didn't want to say that, what that company's name is. We asked them, we said, you're telling us you're collecting, John, how much? 800 some dollars for 1 bedroom. It's all bills paid. What? So in other words, the residents don't have to pay water, trash, gas, pest control, no cable fee, and no internet fee. I said, are you telling me that you're only charging $600 from these residents? Because of the rest of the cost is, seller's cost, owner's cost. So we're going to be changing, like educating the, residents, right? We don't want mass exodus, but we definitely want to let them know, and they know it too. See, that's the other part. When a property is 99.9% occupied, you are the lowest. You need to go out and take a breathing room, and start charging more rents and other utilities and RUBs. And the property management company said, oh, they are charging at the other property.
Yeah, but I think it's important to know too, like, okay, when you're buying it from a flipper type of person, right? So they're making what they're doing is they're making their money,
exactly.
but they're leaving a lot of meat on the bone. So this is actually more of a meat on the bone deal. But so some people might say, well, why is this flipper doing this? Because the flipper's probably making a couple $1,000,000 and they're happy with that. And they realize that it's going to be another 2.5 years to implement the value add strategy.
Yeah.
They don't want to wait around. They want to take their couple $1,000,000 and roll it. So there's always reason, because some people say, well, why wouldn't the seller stay on? There's reasons, right? That's their model. They get in, get out, make a few million. If they leave enough meat on the bone where there's a value add for a secondary value add investor to come in, and then the time you guys are done with it, it'll be pretty turnkey to the point where there's probably not much more value add. Somebody that just wants to get a good cash flowing asset and it's got a lot of equity to roll into the deal will buy it.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep it in our portfolio. I mean, John is going to be probably inheriting when I die. Monica and John will inherit the whole thing. But this is going to be a good one. It's going to be beautiful. The good part is, it's the business plan. See, we want to talk to the audience. See, everybody listening or watching us even later on, hundreds of you. Please, please, please don't buy a property unless you underwrite it well, the area, the market, why you want to buy it, and then you go all in. 15 bidders were there, 15 bidders. Why did they select us? Because we went with the best terms. We went with money hard day one when we signed the contract and things like that. And we had the loan approved before even the LOI was sent in, right, John?
Yes. And that's a big part of, getting a loan like this and having the equity. So sellers want to know you can close. And so what we did, we got the pre-approval for the loan, and then we already had the equity raised. So it was a smoother process.
Again, the big thing is to have a great underwriting skills. That's so important. All right. And not only that, you want to underwrite it well, but write it conservatively. That's the word. Because many times you could do blah, 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 assumptions in up and down the pike, and then you say, yeah, this is a good property. That's not
Let
the
me
right way to buy. Huh? Go ahead.
let,
Well,
let me unpack this a little bit. So,
yeah.
John, you found the deal through one of your sources. So, like I like was this one of those deals, John, where you're like you knew right away that you're like, okay, we got to go after this? I mean,
Well,
what kind of walk me through this?
so the area, so I'm actually looking for a house there to buy. And so, because just what you've seen, people are moving there. The city's spending almost $1 billion, companies, restaurants, there's new places moving there every day. And so when I saw it, I was like, hey, it was kind of perfect because it fell into our lap because this is a great area we want to be in. It's really, really emerging because there's other areas of Knoxville that are more, have kind of already gone through this phase. And so we want to catch it on the ride up. So that's what we're doing now. But, initial underwriting, it looked good. And then now with our game plan of building the 16 units, it looks, really, really, really good. And so when conservative underwriting, I think sometimes I'm a little too conservative because you want to err on that side. And because it's a real world, things go wrong. Things are more expensive than you could imagine. And so we're excited to get it done. And
So once you guys take ownership, obviously there's a 500,000 give or take CapEx budget. How are you gonna you're gonna self-manage this? I mean, you're gonna hire and run the management, and how do you go about strategically figuring out how to start bumping rents? What's the process?
What would you say to your business saving money and accelerating growth? More than ever, as a business operator, using the resources that you have wisely means not overpaying for those vital business expenses that keep your company moving forward. But ensuring that you're optimizing your savings across every expense category can be a daunting task. That's where our optimization solution can help. It's based on solutions by entrepreneurs and business operators, people like you. We recognize the optimization challenges businesses face because we've faced them ourselves. That's why we built a platform around our experience that data and benchmarking are the only ways to truly know that what you are paying is what you should be. How do we know that? Because we already built a data-driven technology business around true big data modeling and benchmarking, saving thousands of clients more than $150 million. Now we've applied that same experience to our unique solution, amassing trillions of dollars of expense data from millions of businesses, benchmarking every expense category. This gives us the insights to identify your best possible rates. And with your assistance, we will implement them at no risk or cost and without adversely impacting your existing vendor relationships. But that's not where our solution stops. We'll continue to benchmark your expenses against our $6 trillion data lake to continually find new savings opportunities and areas for expense optimization. On top of that, our work is performed on a contingency basis, so if we can't save you money, you don't owe us a cent. You already have plenty of responsibilities on your plate, and let's face it, scouring through your general ledger to uncover possible opportunities where you could save money is a painful and time-consuming chore. This often falls to the bottom of your endless to-do list as you try to keep your organization growing. All we need to begin is a general ledger report from any accounting software. Within a few days, we'll present you with a savings analysis for your review. Next, we'll handle all the negotiations on your behalf. After that, we'll begin performing monthly compliance and optimization audits, so you'll never have to think about overpaying in any expense category again. So call or email today, and we'll help you analyze your expenses, recognize your savings, and optimize your business so you can maximize your company's potential.
That's so exciting. But what you just said, see, we've been self-managing all the 26 assets that I purchased over the last several years. And the good part is we have sold quite a few of them, right? So now we have room to really try our skills in this market. We are going to be interviewing some property management companies, local ones, right there in Knoxville. But also, maybe for the first 6 months, we are thinking, why don't we manage ourselves, and get that whole process of construction under the belt and make sure that we are not nickel and dimed. You know how the property management companies come in, they take money on, everything and all that stuff anyway. So we are still debating, right now. Yeah, yeah. But we do have experience, 14 years of experience being vertically integrated with two acquisition companies, two management companies, and all. So we do know what we can do, but let's see,
Yeah, no, this is exciting, and it's exciting that it's in John's backyard. Which, at the end of the day, when you have a team member that's boots on the ground in any location, that's a huge add. I mean, I know personally from the small portfolio I have in the Midwest, it's hard because I'm not there. Little stupid things to get done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need somebody that can. Like, I remember 3 years ago when we went to Georgia, Vinny, and although you didn't go to Georgia that often, right? When you went there, you're very strategic, and I was amazed that like you would just go in and just knock out getting things done. So having Jon there, right,
Yeah.
it's kind of a no-brainer where he's there, he's making sure he's looking over bids. That level of management is going to be far superior. It's probably saves thousands of dollars in expenses by having somebody on boots on the ground.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And Manik also our VP of operations, who has so much tremendous experience now managing almost $500 million, portfolio. The key thing is Jon and him and I, we could really move it together. Yeah. We if we hire the right people, that's the number one thing. We will look for the community manager who's got 20 years of experience, or 18 to 20 years, maintenance person, HVAC certified, everything, who is a knockout, like that, and pay them well. Pay them bonuses. In our Monil management group, we have been giving 2 bonuses a year to our team members. At the peak, we had 135 people,
And I think
135 full time. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's pretty smart. So I guess, like, if I were to, why wouldn't you add performance bonuses for these community managers? Like, okay, here's your
yeah,
benchmarks. If you achieve
yeah.
occupancy levels at this, if you can lease ups at this,
Yes,
then even if you pay them 20 grand more that year because they hit their goals
it's
and
worth
you're
it.
building, right? So that's
Totally worth
actually
it.
pretty smart to implement. I don't know how many people are doing something like that, but it makes sense because, let's face it, most of us out there, we're motivated by money. Not all of us, but a lot
Totally.
of us,
No.
right?
Yeah.
If you're an employee and you can only make your $50 or $40 or $30 an hour and you have no incentives, you're going to do your job. Usually most of the people would probably do their job at 70% of what they could probably do if they were
Mhm.
super excited to be there. So I think that's smart to do with anything. You can incentivize people like, hey, we want to help you grow too, right? Like, they see you as this owner, like equating massive wealth. But hey, listen, if you help us, stabilize this property and bring it up to snuff, you're going to benefit greatly from this too. I think that's
You
that's
know,
smart.
this is so smart what you're talking about, and we should expand on it a little bit. We are selling assets, and our company gives sales bonus. It's called sale, yeah, on the sale of the property, to keep the morale of our 4 or 5 employees. I never say employees, team members, at that asset really churning and doing well and not really feeling bad about anything. We give them 2 months or even 2 weeks or 3 weeks of pay after they leave. And then also give them a bonus, sales bonus, we call it, which is, hey, if we close on the sale and the profits are made, then we'll share the profits, share the bonus and all. But paying in June every year after the 2 quarters, and then paying end of November before Christmas. Not pay end of December, but paying end of November after 5 more months has been a tremendous, to keep the morale up and to really do some camaraderie things with the, team members and things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm. All right, John, anything else should we say? Or Beau, anything you want to add, buddy? I know we talked about this deal. You want to talk about some loan or things like that? Yeah.
Oh, well, we're coming up to the 30-minute mark, but what I
Yeah.
will say is let's do this. I'm gonna take all these and have my virtual assistant Nell edit
Yes.
these, and then we're gonna create we'll level them out. We'll lay them out so they go one by one by one. But I'm also gonna put them together and do a series. And each week, maybe we spend 5 minutes on it. We cover it,
Sure.
and I'll patch it in the
Yes.
edits, and then we'll have one story from basically this first episode to due diligence to
Yes.
final loan approval, through any issues you have to work your way through interviewing property managers, community managers, through
Yes.
looking at the construction budget to build the extra 18 units or so. We'll document all of it and then just make like an hour long, like total start to finish. And then 6-month mark, I'd like to go back and see where we're at. Maybe at the 3-month mark from the time you take ownership, 6-month mark, 9-month mark, and the 12-month mark. And then maybe, at the time you're getting ready to reef the bridge. But I guess it's going to depend, because you might start construction in the next 6 months, it sounds like.
We will. Oh no, within 3 months. Once we take the keys, we are already planning, the whole structural drawings. The GCs are working already, surveyors, and we are looking into the ordinance changing because we have to do multifamily. It's a duplex. The key thing is, I want to say something to everybody, the whole audience. My partner, Beau, has been a TV star. He has been a TV star on the HDTV, right, Beau? And I think it's so exciting that we do this show together, and I hope we have big following where we can teach a lot of people, all three of us, so that they could take their journey to a next level, so that they can take their business, or if they're just tiptoeing, should I be into it or not into it, that they take some action and do it, and move along. And it's not that hard. It's not rocket science at all. I mean, I didn't know nothing about nothing 14 years back. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what LOI was. Letter of intent, cash in cash. Yeah.
And even look at John's growth, because look at what John's accomplished. So John was, he was like a sales guy for like some car parts or something before that. Like, he was probably successful as what he did. You can tell he's like a go-getter. And then his John's brother Josh, or Joshua, I forgot if he likes Josh or Joshua better, but okay, I call him Josh. But he's super sharp too. And then like you two, then Josh and Dylan introduced you to Vinney, like, what was that, 2 years ago now?
Correct. 2.5.
You're I don't know if you're a GP in those assisted deals, right? Or
yes.
You're not an LP. Yes. So you're a GP in a bunch of assisted living deals, and now you're going to be a GP in this $12.5 million acquisition at the ripe age of 34. But I guess I'm pointing this out because, like, I remember when John just started with Vinney, and now his projection, he closed on he's in the deal with his father and a business partner on 20 units. He's got a duplex. He's got, a nice Corvette, $100,000 Corvette now. Amazing to see. So that's pretty cool. But what John did very well is, like, he went out and, through connections and networking, met Vinney, and Vinney saw the potential in John. And then John just, obviously showed Vinney that John's always working. He's texting me at 4 or 5 in the morning, just like Vinney. And so it's interesting, but it's very cool to see, John's success, climbing, right? Like baby step, baby step, baby step. $12 million deal, right? Like, he's still doing his duplexes and stuff too, which is cool. But I think that's going to be, 5-6 years from now, John will be a 40-year-old guy that's probably pretty financially free at that time, which will be pretty cool. And then, then it's your job, John, to carry on Vinney's torch But Vinny would probably still be 100 years old doing this, but pretty cool. So I guess the big takeaway here is that, listen, it's not exactly like what you know. It really comes down to like, figure out where you can excel and help somebody else out. And then, that's what these real estate deals, it's you might find the deal, you might have no money, but you find the deal and you can become a partner in the deal in a limited capacity. There's so many ways. So if you're sitting out there going, well, how did Jon do it? Right. Well, how did Jon do it? He got a job working with Vinny, and he was smart, and he already had good connections, and then he started building off of that. And I see what he's doing. It's pretty smart to do. So I guess the point to the viewers is just look at what Jon's done in 2 years. Like, there's people out there that you can align yourself with that can help grow your business, right? And so figure out how you can find these type of people that are willing to support and work with you, and grow. You can do more in 1 year that way than you can do in a lifetime, right? So it's pretty interesting to watch these dynamics, because I have a lot of friends that are very successful in real estate, and how do they get there? Because a lot of people from the outside go, well, how, Vinny, you got $500 million under management. How the heck are you going to do that, right? But it was like one step at a time, right? It's not like Vinny snapped it's like the iceberg that nobody sees the 3/4 of the icebergs under the water, right? But it's just taking these steps and then getting those momentum plays, right? Like where you can build $7 million of equity in this property, right? You can force the appreciation and create $7 million of equity in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, which isn't pretty remarkable, right? Because that's pretty life-changing to be able on one project to create $7 million equity.
Yeah, I think again, Beau, I really believe in law of attraction, all those things, the positivity and all that, and learning. A lot of time people, try to do things, but do it haphazardly. I mean, they're not. The mind is not right. They want to do it this or that or this or that, and analyze and paralyze all those stuff. Things happen. You got to just hunker down, just get concentrated, just have a tunnel vision, and say, "This is what I want to do," and I think things happen. So no, hey, it's been a great show. Thank you, everybody watching us, and again, thank you, Beau. Thank you, Jon, for a super. We'll have a guest star. If anybody would like to suggest to us, somebody very special, who could be a great guest, please reach out to Jon or I or Beau right there. Also, before I forget, by the way, our charity water drive, fundraising drive, is going to be coming to an end next week, end of July. So if you would like to, please go to vinnychopra.com, charity waters. It's for the charity water organization. 100% of the money goes for the cause in 29 countries to give clean water to different people, to people who are in need. So please do help us. And it's something that, we like to give back to the community, a lot more times than just one. So thank you again. And last comments, anybody? Yeah.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Today's a busy day for me, and I'm sure Vinny and Jon are busy, but to not let off the gas. I'd like to push through the day and even set myself up for a prosperous weekend too. A little bit more relaxed on the weekend, but I always like to do a little bit each day to keep my engine going, right? Because if you just relax the whole weekend, sometimes you get out of that work mode, and then you kind of don't look forward to that Monday. So I find that, like, even though I'm taking the days off, I'm always doing some kind of personal development stuff, because I don't like when I wake up and I'm not excited. And so I find, like, if I prep myself during the weekends, I'm ready to go on Monday, right? And like, that's the thing. If you're an entrepreneur, even when you're on the beach, you're doing personal development stuff. That's what I found. Most people that are really excelling in the business world they're even when they're taking time off, they're enhancing themselves somewhat, one way or the other. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just excited.
Thank you today, guys. Everybody, we'll see you next week, 9:30 Friday, bright and early. Thank you, Jon. Thank you for your contribution, buddy. Appreciate you all a lot.